Hello to everybody. Okay, we've got the board finished for Junior's little electric cart. You will notice before it had a pot on here to adjust the speed, which wasn't going to be much good for an accelerator. So I found this slide pot in an old TV, but it was 30k and we needed 10k, so I've had to add some resistors on there. It's now 10k and 2 ohms, so that's pretty close. This was well worth its money. It's a 40 amp power supply. Not only changes the pulse width to control the speed of the motor, it also can change the frequency as well. And I've tried a small motor and this motor, and changing the frequency makes a very big difference. So I'll just turn that on, power it up. So I'm running at 1.86 kilohertz at the moment, and 200 kilohertz either way of that, and this motor draws nearly an amp more. So getting the right frequency in different motors seems to be very important, which you can't do with the old speed controllers. They just adjust the pulse width and not the frequency, like this 20 amp one here. And this one's controlled of course by the ICs, and it also has a speed governor in it. When the motor comes under load, it adjusts the amps going to the motor via the pulse width to keep the motor at a constant speed whether you're going uphills or downhills. And it does this by measuring the back EMF from the motor, which is pretty cool. You can also set the maximum current that'll go into the motor, or its maximum speed can be set. Now I've got it set at about 97.4 of its top rated speed, and it works really good. Of course that's going really slow at the moment. I'm only drawn 430 milliamps. This is a pretty big motor, as you can see. It's a 1 horsepower, 24 volts, 40 amps max, and the unit is of course 40 amps. They do say that they will quite happily run 56 amps, but they rate them at 40 just to be safe. Now I've had this running for about 15 minutes and these MOSFETs are still cold, so of course not under load, which will change everything. So yeah, with this little magic box we can adjust our frequency, which of course does make a very big difference. Our total, our top speed of our motor, we can adjust that to a percentage of the top speed, and of course we can adjust our speed. So yeah, great little setup this. It's also good for resistive loads, so this will find itself on one of my HHO systems sooner or later as well. But of course for now it's going into Junior's little cart. The soft start on it's really good, eh? You pull it straight up. You hear the little beeps, that's just to tell you that it's running at its top set speed. As you can see I've got it set on 97.3%. They don't recommend any more than 99% of your top speed in motor. And there is also an adjustment in here where you can actually overdrive the motor as well, but that's sitting very happy on 2000 RPMs flat out, so that will do just fine. And also powering down when it gets to its set speed. Beep's going to blink to tell you that it's running at 34% of its rated speed that we have it set at. So great little unit. Next thing we've got to do is build the frame, of course. so we'll get on with that, and I will post another video once we've got that completed, and then we'll be putting in our batteries and our solar panel for the roof to charge the batteries while he's not using it. Okay, so till next video, cheers from the Tin Man.